Yeah. So before we started, I noticed you ask a lot of why questions, like why do you do this? Why do you do this? So I'm curious, when you started this community, what was your why? Like when it was just you and your friend.
Yeah, and it's base level and like things like that evolve, right? Like there was no grand plan when I first started it. Like the why behind it was I didn't know anybody in this town, and it was the easiest way to start making connections without feeling weird or awkward as this introvert that doesn't want to just like go up and meet random people. So it was like that's the cool thing about event hosting. If anyone's ever, even if you're not interested in it, just look at it from this angle. Like I think this framing is helpful. Is that when you're the host of an event, you're automatically friends with everybody. You don't even have to know them. You have to do anything. Like if you hosting the event, people show up and they're like, "Hey, you're the host. I know you because your name happens to be the host of this thing, or somebody told me about it, or there's some event or whatever." So they're automatically your friend. And so it's not, you're not in a position where it's like, it's kind of like being like the teacher of the classroom, right? It's like you're automatically known and trusted, and people want to associate with you for whatever reason. It's super cool. And so, like, especially for somebody like me who doesn't love being the butterfly that's just like flirting with everybody, it was an easy way for me to be in connection with everybody without having to like do the awkward kind of like you were saying before we started recording of like approaching people. And it's pretty uncomfortable, which I'm not afraid to get uncomfortable, but in terms of it was a way to short track it. So that was the initial why. The why now honestly is like just connecting those people. Like I get so much joy out of when I got a message the other day from somebody who said like they made a connection at my event, and now they've like helped to double their business revenue just based on the connection that they made at their event. And so now for me, the bigger why is connecting those people and making those connections happen. So like 9 times out of 10, when somebody's like pinging me about the community, I'm almost always just like referring them to somebody else within the community because like that's so much more fun for me. So it's evolved, but that's where we're at now.
Yeah, that's a really good call out. That just like a cheat code to meeting more people and almost like having default respect is just to host events. I'm working on a business and right now I'm just like practicing talking to people about it, like just out in the real world. And it's pretty nerve-wracking because I immediately every time I go in, it's like fresh start. I got to convince this person that I'm trustworthy and that I'm a normal person and like yeah. So I might take something from that.
Yeah, it's a really easy way, honestly. Is like, and you don't even have to necessarily do. Obviously, I did it in person. I don't think you necessarily have to do that. Like doing it online is just can be just as powerful, right? Whether it's creating a school group or hosting regular webinars or a Facebook group is like, I mean, you see the same thing with Facebook. As much as I hate Facebook, and I think most people probably would agree with that statement, is I think Facebook groups is like when you're the host or owner of a group or a community of a specific thing, it just automatically puts a degree of trust, clout. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Obviously, I did the in-person one, and I'll say this too is like I think I got lucky with timing. So I did it roughly, like I said, I started it roughly 2-3 years ago, and this was like just post COVID. People were hungry to do in-person things again
Mhm.
because every time I've even thought about creating it also online, because people are always asking me, how do I continue to connect with people outside of the monthly events? Is what it is now. Actually, it's quarterly now. I take that back. We've actually dropped it down to quarterly. And I've thought about like creating a Slack group or Facebook group or something like that. But honestly, the value of this group specifically is that people want the in person. So I've never actually done it. So my timing was unique in terms of like this like post COVID wanting
Mhm.
to be in person thing. So
Right.
and I definitely don't think it would be as successful in a lot of cities as well. I'll also say that for anybody else is depending upon what city you live in. Like if you live in, I mean, take where we're from. I actually, when I was still living there, I tried a couple events like this back home in Minnesota,
Mhm.
and people showed up, but like nothing to the degree of what I've seen in Austin. Austin is like people are hungry for connections here. And there's a lot of cities like that, right? Like a San Francisco or a Denver, probably, or a Miami, probably. But if you're in like rural Louisiana, good luck.
It's gonna be hard to find.
Yeah.